The lady he once rejected turned out to be his wife. What really happened? Come with me, let's find out together as we dive into this amazing masterpiece. Hey guys, welcome to today's movie that will captivate you. It's full of drama, laughter, and of course, life lessons. I'm sure you don't want to miss this one. So why don't you hurry now and subscribe to this channel for more of these amazing movies coming your way. Go now. Click on that subscribe button before it gets late. The story begins with a young, pretty lady named Efe, who was lying on the bed when a young, handsome, rich guy named Vin came into the room with her belongings, asking her what she meant by all that. He couldn't have an affair with someone like her. Efe began begging him to ignore what he saw and just make love to her so she could get money to buy something to eat. For a moment, he calmed down to understand her situation, knowing that she had no job or food. After that, he told her to go downstairs and fix something to eat while he stepped out of the room. Moments later, Efe had already prepared something and was eating while praising her cooking skills. Vin then told her to take some foodstuff along with her. She thanked him. Just then, he noticed his daughter was back, so he quickly told Efe to go hide somewhere. Erling came in, sensing that someone else was in the house, even though Vin tried to convince her that it was a maid who prepared the food. Still, Erling insisted on finding the person, and to his surprise, she did. Even more surprising, they both knew each other. Vin was shocked and quickly introduced Efe as their chef. After that, Erling went upstairs. Vin then told Efe to eat fast and leave. Minutes later, Erling had finished eating. She really enjoyed the meal and even promised to talk to her dad to make sure Efe got paid well. While she was saying that, Vin came downstairs to ask if his daughter enjoyed the food. She said she did and even asked him to officially hire Efe. Right there and then, Vin gave her the job, and Efe was so excited. The following morning, Vin came downstairs and was surprised to see her in the house. She had already prepared breakfast for him, but Vin told her that he only said those things to confuse Erling. Efe started pleading with him to give her the job for real, but instead, he offered to send her some money. Still, that wasn't okay for her. She wanted to earn her own money. Either way, he wanted her out of his house. Later that day, he went into his room and was amazed. Efe had washed and ironed his clothes and arranged his room neatly. The next morning, Vin entered the living room and saw Erling having breakfast. She told her dad that Efe made it for her. Immediately, he went outside to look for Efe but couldn't find her. When he came back inside, Efe just came out from the kitchen. After Erling left for school, Efe began apologizing for disobeying him and explained why she did it. Vin ignored the drama and simply thanked her for washing his clothes. Efe then went to the kitchen to serve him breakfast. While doing that, she asked him some questions that got her amazed by his answers before walking away. Later that night, Erling ran to her dad, excitedly telling him that Efe taught her how to cook plantain porridge. Because of that, Vin decided Efe should prepare hot dog for him the next morning. The following morning, Efe went to feed the dog. Moments later, Vin came in and asked the gateman if he had fed the dog. The gateman replied that Efe was still cooking. Vin quickly pointed out that the dog food was in the cabinet before going inside while his daughter was still having breakfast. After that, she left for school. As Vin sat at the dining table waiting for Efe to serve him, he called her out. She told him to be patient because she was sweating all over. Vin was surprised at how long it was taking. Minutes later, she finally served the meal inside a cooler. After all the delay, she opened the cooler, and guys, guess what was in it? It was dog meat. What? This was hilarious. Seriously, Vin was devastated. But as if that wasn't enough, the worst was still about to happen. She went to give the gateman the rest of the dog meat. Afterwards, Vin went inside to take a call from his boss. When he came back, he asked again if the dog had been fed. The gateman said no. That's when Vin rushed outside in confusion. Meanwhile, Efe came to him, asking if she could use the leftover meat to prepare stew. Vin lost it. He told her they needed to feed the dog. Efe, looking confused, asked how many dogs he had, because she had already killed the only dog in the compound. Angry and heartbroken, Vin almost hit her. But instead, he kicked her out of the house. Later that day, Vin was with his friend, chatting about what Efe did and how he had to send her away. His friend was more concerned about the fact that Erling really liked Afe and wouldn't be happy when she found out she was gone. That same afternoon, Erling got back from school and saw Afe standing outside the house. She was surprised and immediately asked what happened. Afe explained everything, admitting she didn't know she had killed the dog until after the full gist came out. Erling, still shocked, decided to speak to her father on Afe's behalf as they both went inside. They went to plead with Vin. Though it was tough, thankfully, he forgave her. That evening, Vin was sitting outside when the gatemen came in. Vin asked where he had been, but as usual, the gatemen started with one of his made-up stories. Vin was furious and threatened to fire him, warning him to start looking for another job. Meanwhile, Erling came outside to let her dad know that dinner was ready, and they both went inside. The following day, Erling and her friend were in the living room, chatting and laughing as she told her about their funny gateman who always makes her laugh. A day later, Afe opened the door and saw a complete stranger she had never seen before. The young lady hurried in, trying to go upstairs, but Afe stopped her and asked who she came to see. Just then, Vin came downstairs and took the lady upstairs while Afe stood there staring at them. After that, Afe stepped outside. At that moment, another lady was coming in, and both of them exchanged insults. The second lady then went inside to see Vin. Vin, in a hurry, told her to leave because his daughter would soon return from school, but she refused. He pushed her out and told the gateman to escort her off the premises. Suddenly, the first lady came back, claiming she forgot her bangle in the bedroom. Vin went inside to get it for her, but just then, Erling arrived from school. She was not happy with what she saw. With anger in her eyes, she warned the ladies to leave immediately before she came back out, or else they wouldn't like what she would do to them. She walked past her dad without greeting him and went straight to the kitchen, where she picked up a cutlass. Afe quickly stopped her and promised to talk to her dad so she could calm down. When Vin came in, surprised by what was happening, Afe talked to him. Later that night, while Vin was having a drink, Afe came over to have a word with him. She advised him about the lifestyle he was living, reminding him that his daughter didn't like it. After that, he asked her to leave. Moments later, Afe went to help him to his room. Right there, Vin, who was already drunk, forced himself on Afe. The following morning, Erling came downstairs for breakfast as Afe served her. While they sat, Afe asked her a heartfelt question. "If I offend you, would you ever forgive me?" Erling replied, "Yes." That same day, Afe and Erling were seen playing and making a call. When Vin came downstairs, Afe quickly composed herself and encouraged Erling to behave well before quietly leaving the scene. While Erling and Vin talked about how to spell "I've bus problem," clearly something was off, Erling kept suggesting that Afe could be the right woman for him, since he was looking for someone to bear him a child. But Vin refused, saying he preferred someone he didn't know personally. Later that day, Erling was with her friend chatting. Her friend then advised her to help her dad marry a woman who would truly love him. Erling went back to her dad to talk to him again, still hoping he'd consider marrying Afe. But he wouldn't listen. That evening, Vin was with his friend, discussing what his daughter wanted. His friend gave it some thought and advised him to consider marrying Afe. Even though Vin wanted to make his daughter happy, he admitted that he couldn't marry someone he considered too local. Back at home, Erling was teaching Afe a few things. Vin came downstairs, saw them together, paused for a moment, then quietly went back upstairs. In his room, Vin sat down, deep in thought about Afe, how good she had been to both him and, more importantly, to his daughter. She had brought back joy to Erling's life. That same night, while Afe was lying on the couch, Vin stood nearby, staring at her beauty. Suddenly, she jumped up as they had a brief chat. In the middle of their conversation, Afe reminded him of what he did to her the night before, then walked out on him, leaving Vin completely surprised. Later, Vin was seen with his friend as they chatted and discussed the situation. The next morning, Erling rushed to her dad in a panic, telling him that Afe had been vomiting since morning and needed to be taken to the hospital. Moments later, they were already at the hospital when the doctor broke the big news. Afe was pregnant. But judging by the look on their faces, no one seemed happy about it. Back at home, Erling, clearly worried about Efe, kept asking her dad what was wrong with her. But Vin kept insisting that she wasn't sick. Meanwhile, Efe, feeling sad and guilty about what had happened, decided to leave the house. When Erling went to bring her dad a glass of water, she realized Efe was nowhere to be found. She quickly ran to inform her father, and together, they rushed outside to search for her. As they entered the car, Erling found a piece of paper. It was Efe's pregnancy result. She suddenly had a flashback of what Efe had asked her previously. Without wasting time, she told her dad to start the car, and they drove off to find her. They eventually saw her walking down the street. Erling quickly ran to her, begging her to come back and have the baby at their home. After a moment, Efe agreed and followed them back into the car. The next day, Vin was seen chatting with his friend again, this time about Efe. Months passed. Efe's pregnancy was now very obvious. As she tried to do some chores, Erling quickly stopped her and helped her sit down. Just then, Vin arrived with a gift for Efe. She appreciated it with a warm smile. Shortly after, her English teacher arrived. Vin and Erling left them alone to continue their lesson. While Efe was learning, she suddenly felt sharp labor pains. The baby was coming. Vin and Erling quickly rushed downstairs and took her to the hospital. 2 days later, they returned from the hospital. But Efe's face didn't look cheerful. Something was off. Vin asked her what was wrong. She told him her time in the house was over, and she needed to move out. Erling quickly pleaded with her to stay. Right there, Vin made a bold decision. He asked her to become his wife and begged her to stay with them. After much hesitation, Efe finally agreed. And just like that, they were ready to begin a new chapter of love together. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating movies from us. Till we meet again, bye!